Hello, 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 and welcome everybody. Welcome to another glorious Sunday evening service, soul service with me, Renee. I feel so blessed and I feel so honored. Thank you so much for being here and joining me yet again. Hello, Lee. I see everybody's coming in, and it's so nice to see everybody coming in and chatting and saying hi. It's so awesome. I am blessed in that this is my second soul service of the day. I was at a spiritualist church this morning where I gave a talk on whatever it was that Spirit came up with, which was all about love. And I was also blessed to be able to pass on some beautiful messages from Spirit to some people who were sitting in the audience. And then I'm here to do a similar thing again. So, yeah, truly, truly blessed to do two services in one day. I just absolutely love it. So thank you for being here. I also want to just say that I've had so many messages from many of you just commenting and letting me know how wonderful, how much you're enjoying these soul services. You know, how it just gives you a little bit of time to reconnect with yourself, to just put your priorities straight, to just understand life a little bit better. So thank you to those of you who've been reaching out and sharing your thoughts and your gratitude with me, because you know I'm a big fan of gratitude. So friends, welcome. If you read the pinned message in the chat, I have said to you to come in and say hi. Oh, Sarah's saying it's a little bit out of sync. Why would it be a little bit out of sync? I don't know. Maybe it'll catch up with itself in due time. Let's hope. Because on my side, it looks like it's all okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if it's not nice. I hope it comes right. Let's see. Maybe my signal. No, my signal is strong. My signal is strong. I hope it comes right. Maybe pause and then fast forward and see if it comes right. All right. So as I have said in the pinned message, please do say hi in the chat, and also do put an emoji of something that represents energy to you in the chat. And if there's time later on, I will be randomly choosing people from that list to maybe receive a message. But it all depends whether we've got time, because as always, I do have a lot to cover with you tonight. So as always, friends, let me just get to here. We're going to start off with doing an opening prayer, setting the intention, and just inviting Spirit in and connecting with us. So join me as we just open up our service and begin tonight. So beloved divine source, we come before you with open hearts, seeking your infinite light and wisdom. We honor your presence as the creator of all that is, the source of unconditional love, and the keeper of universal truth. We call upon the loving assistance of our spirit guides, our angels, and our ascended masters, who walk with us on this sacred journey. Surround us now with your radiant light and bless us with your guidance, with your wisdom, and with your protection. May this space be filled with your divine presence. We ask that all energies not aligned with love, with truth, and with light be gently released and transmuted into peace and harmony. Clear the space around us and the space within us, making way for clarity, for serenity, and for sacred connection. Let a shield of divine protection encircle each of us, keeping us safe from harm, from distraction, and from all negativity. May this shield be as strong as the mountains and as pure as the heavens, allowing only love and truth to flow through. We ask that you open our minds to higher understanding, to soften our hearts to embrace love and compassion, and to awaken our spirits to the profound wisdom that lies within us. May we be guided by your hand and inspired by your grace as we align with our highest purpose. With deep gratitude, we thank you for your constant presence, your unwavering love, and your endless blessings. We dedicate this gathering here to the highest good of all, and we step forward in trust, knowing that we are supported, protected, and infinitely loved. And so it is. And so it is. And again, doing a little prayer like that, doing a little, just inviting in the angels, inviting in our spirit guides, inviting in divine source, it really and truly does something to just lift the energies, doesn't it? I always feel so good afterwards. I really, really do. Please do me a favor as well. We are going to be going into our healing prayer. And as always with the healing, I do invite you to put names into the chat of any body, any person, any animal, or any situation that you feel is in need of healing energy tonight. So anybody that you know, anybody that you've heard of, and again, a situation, or even our fur babies, because we know our fur babies are so, so, so important. So if there's anybody that you know who is in need of healing tonight, please do just put their names in the chat. If you prefer not to put their names in the chat, then that is absolutely okay. You can just hold the names in your heart, keep them in your mind. You can write it on your own piece of paper and just hold that between your hands, or just, have their energy in your hearts as well. That is also absolutely fine. And if you are somebody like me who runs a healing book. I have many, many, many names in the healing book. If you are somebody who does that, then just keep your healing book close by and set the intention that the healing that we're about to send goes to everybody in all healing lists throughout the world. And so you can put their names in the chat, or you can just hold them, write it onto a piece of paper, whatever is easy and convenient for you. And as always, friends, I invite you to join me in this healing. So what I mean by that is you get to participate in the prayer, in the intention setting, but I really encourage you to visualize what it is that I'm saying, participate in it, and allow yourself to receive the energy and to send out the energy to anybody and everybody who needs. There we go. Keep those names coming, friends. Keep those names coming, because it is just so important that we send healing to anybody and everybody who needs. And we need to understand as well that sending the healing doesn't mean that the healing is automatically fixed and it solves everything, because we need to understand that when we're sending healing, we're sending it for the highest good of the people that we are thinking about. So if they need to be healed, they will be. But if they need to work through something on their own, then this is exactly what we're allowing them to do. All right. Okay, so join me as we send healing to any and all who need on this night. Divine Source, we gather in your infinite presence of love and light, united in purpose and in compassion. I just remembered I'm supposed to do that. I'm choosing, sorry, we'll start the prayer again in a second. I'm choosing fire tonight as our healing loop, because I want to really burn away the pain. I want to really burn away the suffering. I want to really burn away anything that is no longer good for anybody. So if you just really imagine that this flame that you're seeing is completely eradicating any pain, any discomfort in anybody who we are talking about right now. All right, let's start that again. Divine Source, we gather in your infinite presence of love and light, united in purpose and compassion. We call upon the power of healing that flows from you through all of creation. With reverence, we hold in our hearts all of those in need of healing, those whose names have been spoken, whispered, thought of, or written in healing lists across the world. Each name is a sacred thread in the tapestry of life, woven with care into this moment of collective intention. Friends, take a deep breath now and visualize a radiant light filling your heart. See this light glowing with warmth and with infinite love. Feel its gentle, powerful energy as it begins to expand, spreading through your entire being. Divine Source, we ask that you bless this healing light. Please infuse it with your highest vibration of love, of peace, and of restoration. As we breathe gentle breaths in and out, we guide this light outward, beyond our physical beings, bigger and bigger, wider and wider, to allow it to touch every person and every animal and every being that is in need at this time. With our hearts open, we see this light flowing to all the names that have been written and spoken here today. It moves with ease to all of those in hospital beds, to all of those in moments of struggle, or anybody who is sending out silent prayers for help. Let this healing light touch the hearts of those carrying any emotional burdens, to the minds of those seeking peace, and to the spirits of those longing for renewal. Visualize this light now spreading right across the earth, like rivers of golden energy, flowing into every home, into every community, and to every place where healing is needed. Friends, feel its warmth expanding, restoring balance, and lifting every heart that it touches. And to all who are mentioned, all who were thought of or held in this prayer, to every single one we send love, we send courage, and we send strength. We ask that they feel supported, that they feel protected, and that they feel surrounded by this infinite healing energy. With deep faith and deep gratitude, we affirm that this healing is already unfolding in perfect alignment with divine will. We trust in your infinite wisdom, beloved Source, and we give thanks for the miraculous ways that you bring restoration and renewal. And so it is. And so it is. Again, always feels so much better after sending healing, of including ourselves and being a source for healing energy. When you are a source for giving, you are also receiving at the same time, which is really, really special. So thank you for sharing that with me, friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, next on our agenda is our reflection. Reflection, just as a reminder for those of you who may be watching for the first time, reflection is a conversation that I share with you that I had with Spirit. So it would have been something that I had done with Spirit previously in the last day or two or three, and where I have said to Spirit, what message do I need to share with you? What do your Spirit feel we need to talk about, we need to know, we need to be mindful of at this time? And it's been very interesting to see our soul service over the last couple of weeks, and to see how things have unfolded, and to see how these reflections are growing deeper and deeper and deeper. And I'm always so amazed how, when I first start receiving this information from Spirit, when I first start receiving the reflection, I'm always a little bit dubious. I'm always like a little bit like, is that really what we're going to talk about? But then as I receive the information, it gets so deep. It really does. So I really do hope that you're enjoying the reflections that we've had over the last few weeks. And I really do hope that you enjoy tonight's one as well. So tonight we are talking about the power of forgiveness. I think I made it worse. I feel like I've got an eyelash or something. Isn't it funny how every time I do this, my face gets itchy? I feel like I've got a hair. Tonight it feels like an eyelash. It's just Spirit's way of letting me know we're here. All right, so friends, tonight our topic, our reflection for this week is the power of forgiveness. So we're going to explore a subject that has the power to change lives. The power of forgiveness has the power to heal wounds, and it has the power to bring peace into our hearts. It's something we talk a lot about. It's something that comes up in conversation a lot. I hear it, I talk it, it's definitely something we're all familiar with. We all know what it is, and we all know the importance of it. But forgiveness, as Spirit said to me, is often misunderstood, and I tend to agree. Forgiveness holds the key to unlocking freedom from pain, unlocking freedom from resentment, but forgiveness is very much a deeply personal journey. It's one that really and truly has huge, significant, universal significance. So I said to Spirit, so what actually is forgiveness? I mean, like, give it to me in simple terms. What is forgiveness? And Spirit said that forgiveness is not about condoning what somebody has done or about pretending that it didn't hurt you. Forgiveness is not about forgetting or even excusing somebody's behavior. At its core, okay, at the absolute core of forgiveness, forgiveness is a conscious decision to release feelings of resentment or vengeance towards a person who has harmed you. I'm going to read that again because that to me was just huge, okay? Forgiveness is a conscious decision to release feelings of resentment or vengeance towards another person who has harmed you. And it doesn't matter whether they have asked for forgiveness or not. Actually, that is really and truly not relevant, not significant, and not important. Forgiveness doesn't work only if it's been asked for. So in essence, forgiveness is about freeing yourself. Because when you forgive, you are choosing, and I really put emphasis on that word, choosing to stop carrying the heavy burden of anger, of bitterness, of pain, of suffering, and of hurt. Think of it like letting go of a stone that you've been gripping too tightly for too long. Forgiveness is less about the person you are forgiving and more about you. Your peace, your mental clarity, and your emotional well-being. So why is it? Why is forgiveness actually then so important? Forgiveness is a gift that you give yourself, is what Spirit said to me. Unforgiveness keeps us tethered to the past events, replaying painful memories and emotions that actually just drain our energy. So it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. That is unforgiveness. So numerous studies have shown that forgiveness has profound psychological and physical benefits. It reduces our stress, it lowers our blood pressure, and it can even improve immune function. So emotionally, it helps us to let go. It helps us let go of anger and resentment, paving the way forward for peace and happiness. And that's what we all want. We all want peace and happiness. That's what it is all about at the end of the day. So spiritually, though, forgiveness aligns us with a higher purpose. It aligns us with higher principles of love, of compassion, and of grace. It allows us to release ourselves from the chains of negativity and to live more fully in the present moment. So identifying the need for forgiveness starts with self-reflection. We must never make forgiveness about another person. It always has to be about ourselves. And I'm not talking about forgiving ourselves. I'm talking about forgiving somebody else, somebody who has harmed you, somebody who has done bad by you, somebody who has treated you terribly, forgiving another person. But identifying the need of who and what you need to forgive starts with self-reflection. So I have had a few people in the past who sort of said to me, but there's so many situations, there's so many memories of bad things that have happened. How do I know where to start? How do I know what situation, what circumstance, or what individual I need to focus on forgiving first? So I said to Spirit, so how do we know how to start? How do we know if we need to practice forgiveness? How do we know if this is actually causing a problem for us? And Spirit gave me a couple of points that we need to look at in our own lives to recognize and to see that we do in fact have a need for forgiveness. So I'm going to take you through these points. And while I'm doing this, I'd like you to really reflect on yourself, If you want to close your eyes while I'm going through this, and just as I say these things to you, just listen, notice, observe what is going on inside of yourself. Because if anything feels for you, if I say something and you go, that's me, I got that, it's going to show you how much of a need you have to practice forgiveness. So the first one, lingering resentment. So do you find that you feel anger, bitterness, resentment when you think about a particular person or a particular event? If you do, this is an indication that you have unresolved hurt and you need to practice forgiveness on it. Second one, recurring thoughts. So do you find yourself replaying past events over and over and over in your mind, especially times when you have felt wronged? This mental loop is a sure sign that forgiveness is needed. I'm going to say with recurring thoughts, recurring conversations as well. You know, if you find yourself talking to people and keep telling them, you know, my ex did this and my ex said that and my ex and my ex and my ex, if those are the words that are coming out of my mouth, my old boss, and you know, when I was working there, you know, if there's that anything on repeat, anything recurring, it's a sign that healing and forgiveness is needed. The third thing that Spirit gave me as a sign that you need to practice forgiveness, emotional triggers. So if you find that certain situations, conversations, or even memories provoke strong emotional reaction from you, tied to a particular person or a particular event in your life, this will point to unresolved pain that you need to work through by practicing forgiveness. Number 4, difficulty moving forward. So if you feel stuck, if you feel unable to fully enjoy the present moment because of something that's happened previously, again, forgiveness can help you to release those chains that are holding you trapped and holding you tight and holding you stuck. And finally, physical and or emotional exhaustion. So if you are carrying the weight of unforgiveness, it can and will and often does manifest as stress, as fatigue, or even physical symptoms like headaches, tension headaches in particular. So if you notice these signs, any of these signs that I've just mentioned to you now, take it as a sign for you that it's time to consider forgiveness as a healing practice. So that then takes me to the next point of how. How do we forgive? How do we actually go through this healing process? You know, again, oh, forgive that person, forgive that situation. But what does that actually mean? And how does it actually work? And how do we actually do it? You know, to just say, oh, I forgive them. No, it's so much more than that. You know, that's a start, but it is so much more than that. So I'm going to take you through again a couple of steps that Spirit gave me on the best way to actually work through forgiveness. So how do we forgive? First thing is to acknowledge the pain. Acknowledgement is always number one. It is always number one. It doesn't matter what you're doing, whether it be healing, whether it forgiveness, it doesn't matter. Acknowledgement, acknowledge of what you are feeling, what you are going through, what you are thinking, what you are experiencing. Acknowledgement is always first step. So in order to truly practice forgiveness, we need to acknowledge the pain that we are feeling. So start by acknowledging what happened, how it made you feel then, not how it makes you feel now, how it made you feel then. Understanding that suppressing or denying the hurt doesn't make it go away. And this is what we do. We all suppress, we all push down, we all deny. But this is what we need to understand. If you take the thinnest piece of paper that you can ever imagine and you lay it flat on a table, It doesn't do anything. It doesn't take up any space. It's flat on the table and it's hair thin. Then you take another piece and another piece and another piece, and you keep stacking these pieces on top of each other. Eventually, they are thick, they are dense, and nothing can penetrate. So suppressing and denying the hurt that you have does not make it go away. So you need to acknowledge the pain, and then you need to give yourself permission to grieve, to process the emotions that may be tied to that event. And again, a lot of us, I'm going to say of a certain generation, we were raised with the suck it up attitude. We were raised with the whole attitude of walk it off. And that's not right. That is not right, because we need to acknowledge, we need to grieve whatever pain or discomfort. We need to acknowledge the pain that we experienced. Second point. You need to understand that forgiveness is a choice. Forgiveness, forgiving the situation, forgiving the person, it's a choice that you have to heal, to step away, and to get away from. So forgiveness doesn't always happen naturally. You hear people say, oh, time heals all wounds. Time doesn't heal anything. It really doesn't. Time does not heal anything. What time does is it gives us new situations that we can focus on so that we can ignore the things that were happening in the past. Okay? So understand that forgiveness does not happen naturally. It is a deliberate choice that you make to let go of the pain, to let go of the resentment. So you need to remind yourself that this choice is for your own benefit, not necessarily for the other person. When we practice forgiveness, we're not trying to make the other person better. We're not trying to help the other person. We're doing it for self. We're doing it for ourselves. Okay. Third thing on how to practice forgiveness. Empathize or seek perspective. I love that. Seek perspective. So while this can be incredibly difficult, I understand that. Try to understand the situation from the other person's perspective. This doesn't mean that we're excusing their behavior, but what it does is it helps you to see them as a flawed human being who, like you and I, sometimes makes mistakes. I have a huge thunderstorm that has just opened up above my head. So if you hear rumbling, it is just thunder and lightning above my head, but we will continue. I don't know whether the camera is going to, the mic is going to pick it up, but hopefully it is okay. So we need to seek perspective. We need to allow ourselves to see things from the other person's point of view. Now, I am going to say to you, a lot of the times when a person does bad by you, a lot of the times when somebody hurts you, when somebody does something bad to you, it's not because they're a bad person. It's because a lot of the times they're actually hurting themselves. And because they're hurting and because they're not processing their own hurt, they lash out and they hurt somebody else. So when you actually look at that person and you strip away the action of what they did, and you look at the person for who they are, and you look at their circumstance and you look at their perspective, and suddenly you realize they hurt me because they were hurting themselves. Again, it doesn't excuse the behavior. It doesn't condone the behavior. But when you see them as a weakened, flawed human being as well, it helps you to not hate them so much, to not be so angry, to not be so resentful towards them. Okay. This next one, point number 4. I have 6 points, okay? Point number 4. When Spirit gave this to me, I was like, what? It was like, sure, poof, mind blown. Spirit said, the way to practice forgiveness, point number 4, is to release the need for an apology or to release the need for justice. Like, that was so big for me. It makes sense. I understand it. Like, instantly, boom, I understand. Instantly, I understand. But it's I suddenly realized that when I talk to people who have been through trauma, who've been through anything, everybody wants the other person to suffer. We want the other person to feel what we felt. We want the other person, we want justice. Like if there was something done wrong, we want justice. So Spirit said that waiting for an apology or waiting for justice to be served actually keeps us, the victim, stuck in that moment. The person who has been badly affected, us, when we're waiting for them to apologize or when we're waiting for justice to be served, we're stuck in that emotion. We're stuck in that space. We can't move. So Spirit said forgiveness is not about fairness, because let's be honest, this whole situation is not fair. Forgiveness is not about fairness. It's about freedom. Freedom. So understand that you may never get the closure that you're looking for from the person who did you bad, and that's okay. Remember a couple of weeks ago, we did the whole let them movement? Let them. If they want to be bad people, let them. If they want to live their life in that way, let them. Okay? So waiting for an apology or waiting for justice to be served, understand and know that that keeps you trapped, stuck in that negative energy. Practicing forgiveness is about realizing that it doesn't have to be fair. The outcome is never going to be fair. And that's okay, because we're freeing ourselves from those burdens. We're freeing ourselves from those chains that are holding us trapped and holding us stuck. Yeah, interesting. Point number 5. It's important to practice self-compassion. Self-compassion. So Spirit is saying forgiving someone doesn't mean invalidating your feelings or pretending that the pain didn't exist, because it does. Be kind to yourself as you navigate through this process. How do you be kind to yourself? How do you practice self-compassion? Spirit say through journaling about the experience, journaling about your feelings, journaling about your whatever you've uncovered through this process, meditating about it, or just seeking support from a trusted friend or a counselor. Somebody who can just give you a different perspective to understand, but you've got to not look at it again from pointing fingers at everybody else, but looking at the self. And the final point that Spirit gave on how to actually practice forgiveness, and I mean, obviously this is like the main one, is to let go and to move forward. And I know that that is easier said than done. I know it because I've said those words myself. Easier said than done to let go and to move forward. But spirits say that letting go doesn't mean that you have to reconcile with the person who hurt you. It doesn't mean that you have to like them again. And it doesn't mean that you need to allow them into your space. Forgiveness is, and this is what we need to remember, forgiveness is about cutting the emotional ties that we have to the pain that was caused and allowing ourselves, giving ourselves permission to move forward unburdened. So again, it's about this conscious choice that we're making to practice forgiveness and to separate ourselves from whatever it was that happened, from whatever it was that we experienced. So Spirit went on to talk about the ripple effect of forgiveness. And they said that when we forgive, we not only heal ourselves, but we create a ripple effect that could actually inspire others. Forgiveness can mend relationships, it can restore trust, and it can even bring about an unexpected reconciliation. And even if the relationship remains unchanged, the act of forgiving enriches our own life by fostering resilience, compassion, and inner peace. So yeah, it's quite a big one. I love that Nomfundo says forgiveness is not about fairness, it's about freedom. 100%, my darling, 100%. So, Spirit said to me, forgiveness is a journey, not a destination. And again, I think that's something that we all always are looking at. We're always looking at, I was done, I was ill-treated here, or I had this happen to me, or I feel bad, I feel, whatever. But we're always looking for a finality. We're looking for an end goal. And this is where we're looking for the person to apologize or justice or something. And this is why Spirit say forgiveness is a journey, not a destination. We need to understand that some wounds take time to heal, and that's okay. And that's okay. Absolutely. What matters most is that you commit to the process, knowing that each step that you take will bring you closer and closer to liberation. I went and I found an interesting quote. Nelson Mandela, good old Madiba. He said, resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping that it will kill your enemies. So let us resolve today to put down that poison. Let us choose forgiveness, not as an act of weakness, but as a profound demonstration of strength and self-love. I think that is just so absolutely so important. And I really do think that every single one of us here, every single one of you watching the live, watching the replay, whenever you come across this, understand that we all have somebody, something, some circumstance that happened in our lives that we need to practice forgiveness on. Nobody's going to do it for us. We have to do it for ourselves. But we need to put things into perspective to understand what we're doing and how we're doing it and what it's all going to look like. So I really hope that this little talk, this little talk on forgiveness helps you to let go of any burdens, of any pain that you're carrying around unnecessarily, because we don't need to be doing this. If you're holding onto a rock, let's let it go so that we can move forward freely, easily, and comfortably. There was a loud lightning strike. All right, friends, let's continue. So I am taking that off and putting this on. So now we're moving into our astrology for the week ahead. Again, as a reminder to those of you who are here for the first time, watching for the first time, what I do in this little segment of our soul service is I look at the astrology of the week ahead and I pick one event that is happening, and I give you a little bit of information around that one little event. And then what I have done the last couple of weeks, and I will do again this week, is I take that one event and I talk about each sign of the zodiac and how it's going to affect you. Okay, so giving you all just a little bit of a horoscope, a little bit of an astrology forecast that you can use for yourself. All right, I am going to say to you, if you've never had your astrology chart done and you don't know what we refer to as your big three, your sun, moon, and your rising, I do suggest that you do that. If you don't, if you only know your sun sign, so your sun sign is when your birthday is and where it falls, then that's fine. But if you do know your rising sign, pay extra attention to your rising sign, because when I do these horoscopes, it is more rising sign based. And just to give a very simple explanation of what I mean by a rising sign. So even though you were born, like people born right now are born under the sign of Pisces, so their sun sign is Pisces because our sun is actually in the area of Pisces in the sky, just to put it in very simple English. But your rising sign is on the day that you were born. It is the sign that was rising at the day you were born. Okay, so the sign that was rising in the at daylight, as daylight comes up, what sign was coming up there? And the difference between the sun and your rising, your sun sign is your ego, how you are perceived and seen, but your rising sign is actually the truth of who you are. So your rising sign actually, like a lot of times I will get people say that, yeah, I'm a Pisces, but I don't feel like a Pisces. Because if your rising sign is Leo, and I'm just an example, if your rising sign is Leo, so Pisces is very gentle and nurturing and dreamy, whereas Leo is very strong and assertive and powerful leader. So they're very different energies. So even though you might be born under the sign of Pisces, but you might not feel so gentle and nurturing and dreamy, you might be feeling more strong and assertive. It's because you're a Leo rising. All right, so Oh, I'm so glad Sarah's saying definitely gave us something to think about. That's awesome. Okay, so this week, for our astrology this week, I am focusing on the planet Venus. So Venus is our planet of love, all things beautiful, and Venus this week will be entering into Aries. So oh, really, Pat? Pat says that she's born Pisces with a rising sign Leo. Look at that. Look at that. All right. So I'm focusing on Venus this week. As I said, Venus is our planet of love and all things beautiful. Venus is entering into the sign of Aries this week. So Venus is going to stay in Aries for a long time. So even though this is an event I'm choosing for the week ahead, this event is going to stay in effect right through to the 6th of June 2025. So what I'm giving you now is actually going to be helpful and relevant all the way through to June. Okay, so make a note. Make a note. So if Venus, okay, so Venus right now is currently in Pisces, and it is going to go into Aries this week. Venus is going to stay in Aries, as I said, until the 6th of June. When it will go, okay, so during this period, all right, now just to give you a little bit of astrological background, our planets tend to go forwards and backwards, forwards and backwards, forwards and backwards all the time. But it's not actually forwards and backwards, it looks like it's going forward and backwards, all right? So Venus enters Aries, it will go retrograde. Retrograde means it looks like it's going backwards in early March, and it will dip back into Pisces at the end of March. And then around the middle of April, it starts going forward again. And then it re-enters Aries again on the 1st of May. And it's going to stay there until the 6th of June. So this is a long transit for you and I to navigate. Okay. So right now, Aries is in Pisces. Aries enters into Aries. It stays there for a bit. It goes back into Pisces. It comes back into Aries. So I'm talking about Venus in Aries in particular. I'm not talking about when it goes into Pisces because, you know, that's easy. It's fine. But Venus in Aries, ish. So, to explain, I've already said Venus is the planet of love, of harmony, of beauty, of all things beautiful, all things fabulous, and all things wonderful. Aries is a cardinal fire sign, which makes it, to put into very simple terms, makes it hot under the collar. Aries is go-getter energy. Aries does not back down easily for anyone. Venus is a calm water sign. So if you imagine, okay, Venus doesn't like conflict. Venus is about love. Venus is about happiness. Venus is like, think of Venus as the 60s hippie, and think of Aries as like, let's fight. Let's do things. Let's get things done. So you can imagine that Venus is not happy in Aries. Never. Venus is never going to be happy in Aries. It's oil and water. They don't get on. They're not besties. They're not besties. So Venus is a calm water sign who does not like conflict. Aries creates conflict. So you can imagine that Venus is not going to feel very happy in fiery Aries. It's not going to be happy at all. Like, no. So, while Venus is in Aries, you and I and everybody, because we're all affected by it, we're all influenced by it, we can expect personal relationships to heat up a little bit. We can expect our personal connections to get a little bit volatile. And you may or may not be happy with people in your life during this period, okay? So, I am going to say to you that we will all feel this Venus in Aries differently. Some of you may be severely affected by it, and other people might go, no, walk in the park, I'm fine. Just like, everybody talks about Mercury retrograde, and some people say that every time Mercury goes retrograde, everything goes wrong in their life, and they have major trauma and major problems, and other people go, it's fine. It depends on how these transits, as we call them, how they influence or how they affect your natal chart. So when we're talking about Venus in Aries, if you have natal Venus, in other words, on your birth chart, if your Venus is in Aries, it's the life that you've chosen. So therefore, this will be easy for you, okay? But if it's a direct conflict or a direct clash with your natal, you will feel it more. All right. So that's just a little bit of astrology know-how. So talking about Venus in Aries, remembering it in, it's out, it's in, it's out. Okay. So I'm now going to go through each of the zodiac signs, starting at Aries and moving all the way down through to Pisces. And I'm going to talk about what you can expect during Venus in Aries. So obviously, Venus in Aries, and I'm talking to Aries, so obviously this is not too bad for you, because I'm going to say to the keywords that I got here for Venus and Aries, for Aries rising, sun and rising signs, is magnetic glow. So Aries, you will be radiating confidence and charm. You will be able to make this a powerful time for love, creativity, self-expression. You can go after what you want quite boldly, Aries, because this is your sign. You own this. You're fabulous. Taurus, for you, this is about the inner fire, okay? This fire within you. So your desires are going to turn inward during this period, Taurus. That's going to encourage you to reflect on what actually truly matters in your relationships. Self-care and healing, self-healing, are key themes for you, Taurus, during this transit. Gemini, 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 Gemini. For you, the key words that I got for this particular transit is social spark, all right? Social spark for you. So this means that your friendships and your social networks are going to be very energized, very energized. You can expect excitement and maybe even romance through group activities or shared passions. So that's exciting for you, Gemini. And now we're talking to our Cancerians. The key word that I got for Venus and Aries for Cancerians is ambitious love. So Cancerians, your career and your reputation, they are going to get a Venusian boost. Beautiful, fabulous, balanced, harmony, all of those kind of things. So Cancerians, you can use this time to charm your way into new opportunities and or connections that will help you in your future, which is fabulous. Let's talk to our Leos. So Leo, the key words for you is adventurous heart. Adventurous heart space, because you are craving excitement right now. You are let me get the words right. You are craving novelty in love and novelty in life. Travel, learning, exploring new ideas could bring joy and inspiration to you. So this is a time where we're going to use it. We're going to use the fire, because obviously Leo is fire as well. We're going to use the fire of Aries to drive our passions, to drive our enthusiasm. So that's fabulous, Leo. And Virgo, for you, deep passion, deep, deep, deep passion. So you're going to find, Virgo, that intimacy and transformation are definitely going to be heightened for you during this period. So it's important that you dive into the depths of your emotions and strengthen the bonds with those that are closest to you. And now we look at Libra. So Libra, your keywords is dynamic partnerships, dynamic partnerships. So relationships take center stage for you, Libra, whether they are romantic relationships or business relationships. You can expect a surge of passion, but watch for impulsive decisions that may bite you. Scorpio, my favorites, Scorpio, fired up focus is the key word for you while Venus is in Aries. So this means that your daily routines, your health will get a boost. Passion fuels your productivity, so use it to tackle projects with enthusiasm. Enthusiasm, Scorpio, get excited. Sag for you, the key words is romantic adventure. So this tells you as well that your creativity and your romantic side of life are going to light up. This is a great time to indulge in fun, playful activities that feed your soul, Sag, as only you know how to do. Capricorn, for you guys, keywords for you with Venus in Aries, it's about home passion. Home passion. So your family and your home life are invigorated during this time. You beautifying your space, deepening family connections are the things that bring fulfillment to you, the things that are important to you right now. And Aquarius. Aquarius, your keywords are fiery communication. Fiery communication. So conversations and ideas will flow with passion and charisma. This is a great time for you to network, to flirt even with somebody, or to start brand new bold projects. And finally, last but not least, Pisces. Pisces, the key word for you during Venus and Aries is bold values. Bold values. So your finances and your self-worth will receive a boost. Take action on money-making ideas and invest in things that align with your passions. Right, I love that. So everybody, like I know I started off that saying Venus is not happy in Aries at all, and it's not, but now you know how to work with that energy. Because me, I'm always about optimism. I'm always about finding solutions, always about how is the best way to handle a situation. And now you have for each of your zodiac signs how to handle Venus in Aries. And remember, it's in, it's out, it's in, it's out. I agree, Earth Star. Yay! All right. So let's just move my do-do-doot. Okay. So I know we are 5 minutes away from the hour, and I always try and reach an hour. And I knew that my talk on forgiveness was going to be a bit longer than usual. So I knew that I didn't really have a lot of time to play with. So I am going to spend a few minutes giving some messages to those of you in the chat. So I asked you when you came in, I did, it's too late to do it now. So don't all go doing it now. It's too late. You should have followed the instructions at the beginning. But I said when you came in to please put an emoji of something that represents energy for you. And I'm going to look through, I'm going to scroll up in the chat, and I'm going to see who I'm drawn to from Spirit to give some messages, just a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of guidance for those that have put something that represents energy. And Sarah C, my darling, you are the first one that I noticed. So welcome, hello, and welcome to our soul service. So Sarah, thank you for putting the emoji in. Let me just hear what Spirit have to say, but I need to have a sip of my water first. Okay. So Sarah, I'm hearing from Spirit that I was looking at myself and blurry, and I see now it's come right. I hear from Spirit, Sarah, that for you at the moment, you've got a lot to look forward to over the next 2 weeks. Spirit is saying this week coming and the week after that, there's a lot happening. It's going to be a busy period for you, but there's a lot that you can look forward to. So don't be worried and anxious about whatever you're dealing with. And I understand that sometimes we do get worried and anxious because we're worried that things aren't going to work out, or, how will it be? But Spirit is saying the next 2 weeks, actually, you're in a really good phase. You're in a really positive phase, and things are going to work out really, really well for you. So the next 2 weeks, definitely you've got luck on your side, if I can put it that way. Sending you love and blessings, my darling. Sending you love and blessings. Right, scrolling up, looking for emojis. Paula also going, Pisces, yippee! Okay, let's do Maria. So Maria, you've got a beautiful dolphin. Dolphin as a form of energy. How fabulous is that? Love, 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 love. All right, so Maria, let's listen to what Spirit have to say for you. It's interesting, Maria. So as I'm listening, I'm hearing the thunder, right? There's a storm outside. I'm hearing the thunder. And Spirit is saying it's like your life at the moment, that you've got this kind of thunder cloud above your head. And there seems to be like a lot of lightning. But what Spirit is saying, Maria, that your thunderstorm, the storm that you have above your head at the moment, there isn't any rain attached. So it's a whole bunch of noise. It's a whole lot of rumbling that doesn't actually develop into anything. So again, Maria, the message for you is we often, we hear the thunder, we hear the noise, and we start panicking and we get fearful and we get worried and anxious. And Spirit is saying for you, you're hearing the rumbling and you're imagining or expecting the worst, but Spirit is saying there's no need. It literally is just a whole bunch of noise that isn't going to manifest into anything of concern. So whatever you're worried about at the moment, whatever is occupying space in your head at the moment, Maria, don't let it get to you. Don't let it pull you down. Don't let it affect you, okay? It's just a whole lot of hot air. I don't know why I'm saying hot air, but that's what Spirit is saying. It's a whole lot of hot air. It's not going to develop into anything. All right. Sending you much love, my darling. Judy, I don't know what that is. I mean, I can see it's an animal, but I don't know what animal. But if that is the animal that represents energy to you, then that is fabulous, my darling. That is fabulous. I want to call it a hippo, but I also want to call it, I don't know. But anyway, we're choosing you. We're choosing you, Judy. We're choosing you. Okay. So Spirit is saying to you, I'm giggling because spirits are making me excited. Okay, so I've got like the butterflies in the stomach. I've got all this kind of excitement happening around me, but I don't know why. But I don't know why I'm excited. I don't know. I just have this kind of excitement. So is there something that you're working towards? Is there something that you're hopeful? Is there something that you're expecting? And I really do feel like it's an unknown. Okay, so you probably don't know what it is. You're probably like, uncertain of yourself, because I definitely feel like I know there's a surprise coming, and I'm excited for it, but I don't know what it is. So that's the energy that I'm getting for you. And Spirit to say, Judy, and maybe it's also the fact that I don't recognize the animal. And maybe this is again part of the message, is that what you're expecting, what you're looking for, what you're hoping for versus what comes may be different, and that's okay, because what arrives, what it is, what it turns out to be, is going to be perfect. So the excitement that you have around something, it may not be exactly how it manifests or how it unfolds or reveals itself, but the way that it does show itself is going to be exactly the way that it needs to be. Sending you love, Judy. I hope that makes sense, because that I wasn't getting anything from that. Right, I have to scroll far because I see people didn't put emojis up. Tracy Swanepoel. So Tracy, bless you, my darling. Tracy was at my morning service, so you're getting a double dose of me, my darling. It was so lovely to see you this morning, and I can't stop thinking about your gorgeous nails. I am due to have my nails done this week, and I think I'm going to copy your color, because that was stunning, absolutely stunning. So Tracy, let's get a message for Tracy. You know what? I'm hearing Spirit say to you, Trace, that you're being so hard on yourself. I almost want to say to you, you are your own worst enemy at the moment. Like, you're not being kind to yourself at all. And that's not right. That's not right. You shouldn't be like that. You should be kinder to yourself. You should be nicer to yourself. You should be gentler with yourself. So if you have been unnecessarily cruel to yourself, or hard on yourself, or having high expectations of yourself, please just realign or readjust, or just become aware. Remember, step number 1 is always acknowledgement. So just become aware of how you are treating yourself, or what you're thinking about yourself, because Spirit is saying that you are being unnecessarily harsh, okay, on yourself, not on anybody else, just on you. Okay, so just be mindful of that. I also want to say to you that there's a lot going on in your life. Like, I don't know if there's a lot of things brewing or a lot of things happening, but Spirit is saying that there's a lot going on. Like, you don't have a lot of time to just do nothing. Like, there's always something on the go, whether it's at home, at work, or a combination of, or whatever it is. But Spirit is saying that there's a lot happening. Okay, so Spirits are acknowledging that there's busyness, that there's a lot, that it's a little bit chaotic. But because you're being hard on yourself, you're not succeeding in the way that you should, or in the way that you want to, with all of this goings on. So if you are kinder to yourself, if you are gentler to yourself, you will find it easier to do all the things that need to be done. All right. Sending you much love, my darling. Sending you much love. All right. So friends, messages are done. Thank you so much. And it is time for us to start winding down our soul service. I do want to just take a minute, take a second to remind you that I do have a meditation group that meets every Tuesday morning. I understand that not everybody can make a Tuesday. I understand that not everybody is able to attend on a Tuesday. So this particular meditation group, it is something that's done online here on YouTube. But not everybody has access to it. It is a paid service. 150 Rand for the entire month gets you meditations each week. You have access to the meditation for an entire week. So even if you attend live or if you don't attend live, you can watch or receive or participate in that meditation as often as you need. So you have access to it for an entire week until the following Tuesday when I do another. So even if you're in another country, another time zone, it doesn't matter. It is online and it is available to everybody. You don't have to sign up through YouTube. Contact me directly through WhatsApp and I will gladly share the information with you. As I say, 150 Rand. For those of you in another country, I think it's less than $10. Less, I mean, it's I think £5, less than $10. I don't know. It's not a lot at all. And I will love to have you join. I do have quite a few people in the meditation group. And those of you who are members on my channel, those of you who have the beautiful butterflies next to your name in the chat, those of you on the motivated level, you are automatically part of the meditation club. So for those of you who would be interested in taking time out for self once a week to grow, to develop, to understand yourself better, please do consider joining the meditation club. And with that, friends, thank you so much for being with me. As always, I just absolutely love having all of you here. I am so grateful to every single one of you. I really and truly am. It really is just phenomenal to spend this time with you. I am so grateful to all of you who join on a Sunday, who join these lives, who watch my videos Monday to Friday, my daily videos. And I'm really, really, really so grateful to all of my channel members whose names are up on screen at the moment. I'm so grateful for your support. I'm so grateful for your love. I'm so grateful for your kindness and just for being a part of my life and for giving me a reason to come back day after day, day after day, to be here with each one of you. So thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I do love and appreciate absolutely every single one of you. And next week, I actually need to look at my diary because I can't actually remember. Next week will be a morning service. So soul service will be 9 a.m. South African time next Sunday. I will be back tomorrow morning with our normal program of events, daily readings to inspire and to motivate. Friends, thank you for joining me for the service. Join me as we close in prayer. Beloved spirit guides, angels, archangels, and ascended masters, we gather now in absolute humble gratitude for the sacred time that we have shared, for the insights gained, for the hearts that have been uplifted, and for the souls that have been renewed. Thank you for guiding us with your light and for your wisdom as we journeyed together to grow, to understand ourselves, and to deepen our connection to life's purpose. Archangels Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, and Uriel, we honor your presence here and the gifts that you have brought to the circle. Thank you for your protection, for your healing, for your clarity, and for your grounding. Ascended Masters, we are grateful for the timeless truths that you have imparted and for all your unwavering compassion. As we prepare to step forward into the week ahead, we ask for your continued presence in our lives. May the angels and the Ascended Masters most aligned with our needs walk beside us, lighting our way and helping us to remain steadfast on the path of righteousness, on the path of truth, and on the path of love. Please fill our hearts with courage and kindness. Fill our minds with clarity and wisdom. Fill our spirits with peace and purpose. May we carry the energy of this gathering into our daily lives, spreading light wherever we may go. We now release the circle with love and for gratitude, knowing that we are forever connected through divine grace. May we each walk forward with open hearts, guided by the highest good, and trusting in the infinite love that surrounds us all. Thank you. And so it is. And so it is. Lots of love and blessings, friends. Thank you for being here. Look forward to connecting with you soon. Take care. Bye.